AI is here to take our jobs, and it's not some distant threat that we have. It's already happening. Meta is laying off thousands of employees, not because they are not doing well. Their profits are increasing, their business is at its peak, and the reason for layoffs is restructuring, which requires less human capital. And if you think it's just the tech world, think again. Restaurants, banks, construction sites, hospitals, AI is quietly taking a lot of jobs. The question isn't if your job will change or not, it's whether you'll adapt in time or not. In today's video, we are going to talk about AI in context of the tech industry, but more importantly, industries outside of tech. I compare the situation with 1800s when the industrial revolution took away a lot of jobs, and if there's anything that we can learn from that revolution. And by the end of this video, I'll be giving you an AI survival blueprint which you can use in your situation. Irrespective of what job you do, you can use that exact blueprint that I'm using in my business. Because let's be honest, I'll be kidding and lying to myself if I did not believe that AI will one day replace real estate and mortgage agents as well. It's just a matter of when and how we adapt to the changing realities. This video is probably going to be the most important video on this channel. So do stick around till the end because this is going to be long but extremely insightful. So let's get started. My mission is simple. I want to retire 1 million immigrants with $5 million. Whether it's building a stock portfolio, buying real estate, tax strategies, or smart money moves, every video on this channel is designed to build you wealth step by step. If you want to be part of that 1 million, hit subscribe and let's grow together. Let's talk about big tech and how AI is impacting big tech first. Alphabet shares rise as AI fuel revenue surge. These are results that just came out. Google, despite ChatGPT coming in and the search results, in Q1 the search revenue actually went down, but they still posted really good numbers in Q2, and the shares went up 2% on the day these were announced. Amazon is pretty much similar. They have done really well. Meta is very, if you have been following the stock market, if you follow the stock market, Meta increased its share by, I think it was crazy 5 or 6% when they released, and they beat all the outlook that they had for Q2. Microsoft is the same. They're all doing really well, especially the top 7 companies. Tesla is kind of struggling, but they're still okay on the stock market for very different reasons, that I would probably get into another video. But the big thing is to understand is that tech is actually doing very well. However, they are still cutting out 100,000 jobs globally. These big tech companies, the top 7 companies, are cutting so many jobs, and it's not because they're not doing well, it's because they are restructuring their company in a way where there's less human capital required, because these are at the forefront of AI and they are actually changing. In my business, I require less content, like content writers, because of ChatGPT and other tools that are available, way better than ChatGPT. I don't require now, many admins in my company, because there are so many people who will do, so many tools that are available who will do all the admin stuff. They'll do scheduling. There's so much available right now that a lot of the human capital is being cut in a business like mine, which is extremely small compared to the big tech and some of the bigger companies out there. If I am able to replace human capital in my business, these companies, I'm not surprised they're cutting out so many jobs. Let me give you some context. So Meta just posted their earnings, and I'll just read out from my screen here. 47 billion in revenue, 18.3 billion in net income. That's a 43% operating margin. It's increased 5% in one quarter, which is bizarre. If you look at the scale of increase in profit margins, it's bizarre, and that all that is being led by AI replacing human capital, and therefore their margins increase. Microsoft, 69 billion in revenue, 24 billion in profits. The AI revenue is up 30%. That's crazy, and these are blockbuster earnings, and yet Microsoft has cut 6,000 jobs last quarter. They are followed by 9,000 jobs that were cut in July. They have trimmed 5% of their workforce, which is massive because Microsoft is such a big hirer, right? It's such a big employer, and they've cut down 4 to 5% of their workforce. The same trend is being seen in Amazon, in Google, in IBM. All these companies are trimming jobs like anything, and they are calling it reshaping or restructuring, but essentially what they are doing is they are replacing humans with machine and AI. All these companies prefer hiring experienced AI professionals, and it's the entry-level jobs which are struggling, especially the new graduates who are just coming out of college without any prior AI experience because, let's be honest, the graduates are not being taught the right tools and they're changing so fast. Nothing wrong with the colleges and the universities as well, but they are not adapting to this change fast enough, and that is actually impacting how these graduates get jobs. Now you might say that, okay, this is just tech, but that's not the case. In Quebec, restaurants are testing waiters, which are essentially robots and run by AI. Now you might say that this is only tech that is being impacted, but that's not true. In Quebec, and in fact in Mississauga, I was there in a Japanese restaurant where sushi was being served by a robo-looking thing. I'm pretty sure it was run by AI. In Quebec, there are many restaurants who are testing and replacing waiters with these robots. In construction, semi-autonomous robots and even drones are doing surveillance, and they are doing inspections, which earlier used to happen with a real inspector who was a human. In healthcare, a lot of the AI tools are replacing admin roles, which were like, auditing, doing claims, scheduling. There are so many roles which are admin centric, which can easily be done by an AI right now. In manufacturing, MIT projects that there will be 2 million jobs lost in the next 2 years, and this includes Canada as well. This isn't a tech problem anymore. It's an economy-wide transformation. Let's talk about Canada. Oxford Economics estimates that 22% of the jobs, I'm talking about driving, retail, food services, they are at high risk of being replaced by automation. Another 36%, this is on top of the 22%, another 36% are at moderate risk. That's roughly 8 to 10 million of the 20 million workforce which is at risk of losing their jobs within the next decade. Now I'm saying that they'll be losing jobs, that it's basically disruption. There'll be new jobs being created. We'll talk about that in a minute. So don't go off, raising alarm bells and going in the comments and saying that this will never happen. It will. It's just a matter of when. And it's not that these jobs will be gone. There's just disruption in these 8 to 10 million jobs, which will just change and be something else. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Jobs like Uber, Lyft, all these, if Tesla actually brings out robo taxis and Waymo, Google has Waymo, and all these things actually come to Canada, you'll not require drivers. You'll not require Uber, Lyft drivers. It's such a massive economy right now. A lot of people, like livelihoods are dependent on riding around people and doing deliveries. If these autonomous driving, cars come into Canada, all these jobs will go away. It's real. It's here. Bank tellers, Tim Hortons, Starbucks, people working in these industries, these companies can easily be replaced by an AI kiosk. And we know how dependent Canada is on the service industry, and all these low-income jobs are particularly vulnerable. Let's talk about manufacturing in Canada. It employs 1.6 million Canadians. And as per the same study, 27% of these 1.6 million are at a risk of losing their jobs or changing their jobs in some way or the other. And another 58%, that's a lot of people, 58% on top of the 27% are at a risk of disruption in the next 10 years. And young people, especially freshers straight out of the college, they are at the receiving end of this. Let's think about it. Back in 2009, when I joined the workforce, what I was doing for the research industry was making contracts. I was compiling data. I was creating dashboards, and all the tasks that I was doing, most of them can easily be replaced by a machine or a tool. Think about other fresher jobs like accountants, legal assistants, paralegals. All these roles are getting replaced by AI very, very quickly. Now, what's happening in AI has a strong correlation with what happened in 1800s during the Industrial Revolution, when machines displaced huge portions of workforce. Spinning jenny, power looms, steam engines. There was disruption in textile industry, transportation, mining, agriculture, manufacturing. Manual labor demand plummeted. This was essentially the AI pandemic of that era, where technology replaced repetitive manual work. But at that time, there was a lot of resistance. There were a lot of workers, a lot of, artisans who were breaking machines in protest. There was massive migration where a large number of rural workers moved towards the cities in search of industrial jobs. So many unions demanded for fairness. They fought for 5 long years and nothing happened. People moved on, companies moved on. In the short run, it will be painful. People will lose their jobs. There will be wage pressure and there will be social unrest. Then slowly, new industries will displace old roles. Even back then, new industries came to light that were hiring displaced labor. And long term, we all know that productivity increased the entire pie. It created entirely new job categories: engineers, machine operators, technicians, managers. People who adapted the change thrived, and people who remained in denial and fighting the system were the ones who were left behind. In a few minutes, I'll show you live how, as a mortgage agent, I'm adapting to this change. And each one of you watching this video will be able to use the exact steps to implement in your industry. Now, before I do that, I want to give you an AI survival blueprint that I'm following for my industry. The first one is learning the system. Understand the AI basics in your industry. It's not about just understanding ChatGPT. AI is way more than ChatGPT. You have to understand what are the tools available. Maybe you can use ChatGPT as a starting point to understand what are the tools available in your industry, but learn the trade. Content writers, we all know that content writers are struggling right now because, ChatGPT, and there are so many other tools, Jasper, Surfer SEO, there's so many other tools who are doing a way better job than any human can do. No offense to a content writer here, but most of the jobs can be done 80-90% by AI right now. The question that we need to ask is, how can I create reusable prompts to speed up research and search for more clients or serve more clients? How can I be more productive as a content writer using these tools instead of fighting them? There's so many tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Jasper. I've actually used a lot of these because we also require, a lot of content. I make a lot of content. Jasper.ai, Surfer SEO, ClearScope. There's so many different tools which are available right now, which we as content writers, you as content writers, because you know what kind of content works where, you can have that, like human element which is involved, and you can just train these, systems to serve more clients. App developers, my Simran is an app developer, and she can code faster, reduce debugging time, improve testing coverage, integrate AI features directly into the applications. There are tools like GitHub Copilot, Mutable, which helps in code documentation, Ask Cody, which is API integration, Codium, which is bug detection. All this, is available to us now. Obviously, I'm not a coder, so I don't know whether these tools are effective or not, but the point here is that you need to use these tools so that you are able to serve more clients and be more productive. As a graphic designer, speed up concepting, iterate rapidly, free more time for high-level creative work. Think of creatives that AI cannot think or AI cannot comprehend. Tools like Midjourney, we use Midjourney for our thumbnails. The beautiful thumbnails that you see, they are all created by Midjourney, DALL-E, Canva, Coolers, Runway ML, Adobe. We are using a lot of these tools in my industry as a content developer as well, and I think a lot of people should be using these tools instead of fighting them. The second step is pivot to growth sectors. Not all sectors are growing right now. There are some dying industries, and let them die. Don't just die with them. Go where AI is creating jobs. I'll give you an example. So some of these industries require all sorts of roles. Now, there's a difference between a role and an industry. I talk about that all the time. Industry is, for instance, I'm in the real estate industry, but that doesn't mean that real estate industry just has a mortgage role. There are so many other roles in a real estate industry. There's a realtor, there's an appraiser, there's an underwriter, there's so many different roles which are there, and every role has its own strength, and those strengths can then be transferred into another industry which is growing. That's what I'm talking about here. So all these industries like cybersecurity, AI integrated healthcare, cloud infrastructure, AI compliance, all these industries are growing, and there are many, many more. You would know that, what are adjacent industries in your field of work which are growing. A retail worker retrains for AI-driven logistics. If you are a retail worker, you understand the logistics, and there are so many jobs that can be created there. A bank teller moves into a fraud detection with AI role. So, there'll be someone who will be training the AI, or who will be supervising the AI, or who will be, there are some outliers that need detection. You just need to retrain yourself in order to fit into these roles. Pivot doesn't always mean that you have to change your area of expertise. It means that you need to upskill and adapt those skills into a growing industry. We need to understand this. Like, you don't have to change your role completely. All you need to do is pivot to an industry, make your role relevant by upskilling and adapt. That's all it requires. Number 3 is upskill like it's an apprenticeship. When in the industry revolution, if you wanted to become a machine operator, even today, if you want to become a welder, I don't know why I said lender. I'm just so used to being a mortgage agent. Anyways, if you have to be a welder in today's industry, you have to do an apprenticeship. If you want to be an electrician, you have to do some kind of an internship in order to gain some hours in order to be certified electrician. Like any licensed job requires that. Back then, workers took apprenticeship to learn machine operation. Today, treat online courses as your training. There are so many courses which are absolutely almost free on Coursera, on so many platforms. LinkedIn Learning is an amazing platform. Even platforms like Facebook and Google have free trainings or some very low-cost trainings which are available on how to use, for instance, meta ads to grow a business. And you can do that for other small businesses who do not have the capability of doing that. I'll give you an example here. I had a client last year who came to us for buying their home, but she lost her job and she was working as a marketing manager in a mid-sized marketing agency, and she was managing some social media campaigns for different companies. Now in 2024, a lot of these mid-level, especially the social media agencies, the mid-level agencies, they were replacing human capital with AI. They're still doing that, but they have probably been at the forefront of cutting their workforces, and she was just part of that layoff. Instead of jumping into panic mode, I'm pretty sure she jumped into panic mode, but in 1 year, she looks back and says that she gathered the courage to learn, to upskill. Learned Shopify, she learned how to run Facebook ads. All of them were available almost free of cost on YouTube, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning. There's so many resources, like I said, available on Google and Facebook itself. They train you how to run their own stuff. And within a few months, and obviously she had the background of social media, and if she was a marketing manager for a social media, content company, but she was able to, then make websites and run ads for small businesses who don't have the same knowledge, the same, the skill set. She was able to get her first client, the second client, and now she serves 12 clients, and she's making more than what she was making, much more than what she was making as a social media manager working for a company. She has more time for herself and she's making more money. That's step 3 in action. Turning a layoff to your advantage, upskill and make more money. And the fourth one, and this is probably the simplest to implement in your current job. Not everyone is built to start a business. I always say that not everyone should start a business, but you can make changes in your current job and use AI to be more productive than your peers. In fact, if I was still working for, in a company, I was a marketing research, analyst, a manager, and I was doing, replenishment insights, and I was, generating a lot of insights. I would use any tool which is available to me in order to be more productive. And not just that, I'll actually tell that to the company. I'll tell that to my employer on how to be more productive. Because then I'll be part of the solution. I'll be part of that change. And in that moment, I'll be indispensable because I'm the person who actually brought that change. I'm not replacing my job. I'm actually helping them be more productive, be more profitable. And yes, you'll lose your peers, but that's the survival of the fittest. Unfortunately, we are not a socialist economy. We are a capitalist economy, and everyone is looking out for for themselves and their families. And if you don't do it, someone in your company, your peer, would do that, and you would be at the receiving end of the pink slip. I know it sounds harsh, but that's the reality of it. So just to summarize, learn the machine, don't fight it. Pivot to growth sector because not all sectors are growing. Upskill, like it's an apprenticeship, upskill. If you are being laid off, make sure that you are filling in the gaps in your role and making sure that you are part of the solution, and you actually upskill and maybe even change your careers and improve the careers. And the easiest one would be integrate AI to boost your value for your company. During the Industrial Revolution, the winners were the fastest to adapt. Today, it's the same story, but with AI. You can either smash it or master it. Learn fast, pivot smart, build value. And you won't just keep your job, you'll create a better one. This particular clip was somehow corrupted, so I look very different in this clip, but it's part of the same video. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make ChatGPT my career advisor, and I want to see what they suggest, or the ChatGPT suggests that I do for my mortgage career to stay relevant in this AI world. So be my career advisor. Don't bother with the spellings. I'm not very good with spellings, but yeah. Be my career advisor. I am a mortgage agent in Canada who looks after first-time home buyers mostly. Do you think that AI can take away my role and make me redundant in the coming years? If yes, then how do I change to stay relevant? Or how do I change strategy to stay relevant? A very, like a normal, I can write more details. The more details that you give to ChatGPT, the better it will be. I'm just reading, what it's saying, which is pretty amazing. You are asking the right question because AI can take away large part of mortgage agent's job, which I know. What AI can replace? So rate comparison, definitely. Pre-approval calculations, definitely. Basic application help, client onboarding forms. A lot of it is available even now. Credit report analysis, financial strategy planning, emotional support during process. So these are the things that ChatGPT thinks that it cannot be replaced. So there's a low probability of AI being a threat. If your value is based on pushing paper, comparing rates, or filling forms, you are replaceable. Amazing. How to stay relevant? Move from mortgage agent to wealth building advisor for first time home buyers, which I do on YouTube. Like, I'm not a normal mortgage agent. I have a strategy in place and I have a complete company, right? So you'll see that a lot of things I'm already doing. I'll just narrate that. So move from mortgage agent to wealth building advisor for first time home buyers. That's amazing. One-to-one custom strategy calls that I do with all my clients after they close their mortgage. I talk about their retirement. I talk about how to be mortgage free early. I talk about different things which can help them retire 10 years early, 5 to 10 years early. Rent versus buyer decision calculators, I have that on my website. Workshops on paying off the home 10 years early. Amazing. This is exactly what I do with my clients. Family planning, financial planning for immigrants. Now, I'm not a financial planner, but I have connections, and I do set up my clients with financial planners. Next move, HELOCs, income properties, early retirement. That's amazing. Own content creation, YouTube videos that answer real first time home buyer fears. Email automation that nurtures leads better than AI bot could. Instagram reels that build human brand. AI can't fake you. I would disagree. AI can definitely fake me, and I am actually working on an AI to train it in order to, like, it'll just look like me, talk like me, and I'm pretty sure it's already here. It's not very optimized, but we are working on something, like using a tool for that. Build assets AI can't touch. A community of home buyers helping each other. This is crazy, they don't. Partnerships with job accelerators, immigration experts, financial planners, a personal brand that people trust before they trust a chatbot. So it's actually giving me, years, 2025, differentiate, like home buying plus life strategy, systemize, productize, launch digital resources, home buying course, payoff planner, okay. Scale, hire, train junior agents or AI tools to handle backend. You stay as the face and dominate, be the go-to person brand. So it has given me like a 5-year plan. Your unique advantage as you, not AI, a Canadian immigrant success story, a builder of 5 million net worth dreams. Now, obviously, I ask so many questions and I make so many stuff, using ChatGPT, so it knows me a little bit. But draft a rebranding blueprint of your landing page or Instagram bio. Build out the funnel that helps you monetize beyond mortgages. Build me a funnel that helps me. I don't know what it will give me, right? So that helps me monetize beyond mortgages. This is crazy, right? Like, I'm just asking, and it's actually prompting me what to ask. From first time to first million. Okay, interesting. From first home to first million. Homebuyer wealth map, a custom PDF. It's giving me like what I need to do. This is crazy. Free quiz. How long will it take you to buy your first home? I actually do that in my down payment calculator. But yeah, this is something that I'm not doing and I should be doing. Trust layer one-on-one strategy call. This we already do, free or 49 minutes, $49. Product layer. Wealth Accelerator, how to buy with $0 down. Okay, it's asking me to make a course. I don't want to do that. But yeah, this is crazy. Ecosystem layer community and coaching, like wealth building coaching, referrals. The reason why I'm taking so much time to do this is because like it's given me the entire workflow of what I need to do to improve my business and make it AI proof. It's giving me like breaking down into years. It's even like prompting what you need to do next. Create a lead magnet PDF quiz. Like it's doing all the work for me, and I'm sure it will not be accurate, but it's more than what I could have thought of in 5 minutes, right? Like it would have taken me an entire day to think of all of this. That's the power of using ChatGPT and any other AI tool, deep search, whatever you want to do in your field, so that you are able to use AI to your advantage and see how you can still be relevant in this changing world. But I hope this video was useful. I hope you are able to use and don't fight AI, just use it to your advantage. I hope you found something in this video, and if you did, do hit the like button. I don't understand why I don't get enough likes on my videos. Maybe people are not liking it, they're watching it, maybe they're watching on TV, I don't know. If you like this video, it'll be amazing if you hit the like button and subscribe if you have not done that already, because on this, like on every Sunday, I come up with one detailed video which is very, very real, and it helps you build wealth step by step. That's all I have for today. मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय.